Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Christopher from Dimension. I'm going to be showing you how to effectively use camera raw filter, how to set it up, and for your project, the effect, the different type of effects inside of camera raw filter, and which one is important for you to use and which one is not important for you not to use. Alright, now if you want to use camera raw filter serve as an extended effect or a way of editing on Photoshop that was actually experimented on Lightroom. So camera raw filter took some effects on Lightroom, like texturing, lighting, color grading. Those are like things you can find on Adobe Lightroom, and they brought it here on Photoshop so that you don't need to go to Photoshop to Lightroom to do such. You just need to do everything here on Photoshop. So let's get started. First thing first, you need to duplicate your image by pressing Ctrl J. As you can see, I've duplicated that. Now another thing is to do is to convert the image to a smart object. Why? A smart object is like preventing the quality of your image from becoming low or becoming trashed or rubbish, or when it's scaled up it should not lose quality. It prevents that kind of thing. You can save up the original form of that particular layer and still add effects on it and not lose the ability to edit it. So that's the essence of smart object. So I go to filter, I'm going to see camera raw filter. The shortcut is Shift Ctrl A. So click camera raw filter, and there's a window that's going to pop up. I use a double screen, so I'm going to bring it inside. So this is the window. Now this is camera raw 13.0. This is from Photoshop 2020. I'm actually using Photoshop 2019, but this camera raw filter is from Photoshop 2020 because I have it on my system, but I'm not using Photoshop 2020. Now you're going to see all of this. If you don't see all of this like this, properly arranged like this, it means you are using 2019 Photoshop or lower. So there are different levels of camera raw. The last one was camera raw 11.0 and camera raw 12.0. So this is 13.0. You understand that. Now this 13.0 is grouped properly, unlike the previous ones. You see it that there's basic, curve, detail, color mixer, color grading, optics, geometry, effects, and calibration. I'm going to explain every single one of them. Now the basics is everything a basic photo is supposed to carry, which is controlling the color, the current color of the image, whether you want to tint it or you want to add some temperature on it. Then the second segment is the lighting and exposure. Lights, the shadows, the highlights, the contrast, the exposure, the blacks, the whites. So if this image, for example, now we want to improve the white, I just drag the white up like this, and as you can see, it's improving it. If I want to reduce the blacks, I can take up the blacks and the image can look a little bit lighter. Take up the shadow, and as you can see, the image is looking lighter. So that's what this section does. So the exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites and blacks. Then the other side is texture. This texture, clarity, the haze, they focus on texture. And if you notice, Photoshop properly grouped them so you understand what they mean. So the texture is to add textures, is to add realness, like there's a feeling of this ruggedness on the picture. If I increase it, you see that the face of this particular artist pops out. You can see that the diamonds are shining, her face is coming out, all of these type of things are happening. If I increase the clarity, which is also texture, it makes it dark and it makes it pop out well. So this clarity focuses on the shadow area of the picture or the design you're working on. Then the haze makes it worse. It makes it darker and focuses on those areas and makes it pop. So you have to decide like which one are you using and why are you using them. So if I reduce the clarity, I reduce the texture, if I reduce the haze, you see it's softer, it's okay and better. Now vibrance and saturation has to do with colors. vibrant. As you can see, you see that there's a color swatch as you drag to the highest. So if I increase it, it makes the image more colorful and the colors pop very, very well, which I would not suggest you use so much when you are using for a project. So at least you can make it smaller or anything. The saturation, on the other hand, focuses on the key colors that are actually needed in the image that are already there. Vibrance adds color that makes it look at least vibrant from the word, but saturation focuses on the color that is already on that particular image. If I reduce saturation to 0, it becomes a black and white image. That's basic in essence. So there's curve, which is to adjust your lighting and your darkness of the image. So you can focus on different colors. You can go to neutral, you can go to red, you can go to greens, you can go to blues. But it's okay to just stick to this one, which is the parametric curve. And the parametric curve is like the best because it helps you position everything properly. And when you do that, it affects the highlights, light, dark, and shadows. So curve essentially controls the light and dark of the image. So that's what you need to know. Then detail, on the other hand, is to add sharpness, is to focus on the details. Like if I increase the sharpness of the image, you see that this diamond is shining and is popping out very well. But if I reduce it, it's normal, it's not so chalky and so bold like that. Then noise reduction, if I increase the sharpness and you see that there's a lot of noise inside and I want to reduce the noise, or there's an image that already has noise, you can reduce the noise and to drop it down drastically. But sometimes this affects your image because it makes it look like as if it's a painting. So you have to be very, very careful when you are using it. So color noise reduction is just reduction for the colors. So that's what it just means. So then there's color mixer. This one, you focus on the exact color that are on the image. So if I pick red, for example, and I reduce the saturation of red, as you can see, her lips and some parts of her face just went down. If I go to blue and then reduce the blue so you can see that the background, which was blue, is no longer blue. If I pick on the red and I go increase the red to the top, pick on the blue, reduce the blue to 0, pick on the green, reduce the green to 0. I've desaturated the image by selecting the colors I want to desaturate. So that's what color mixer does. It focuses on the appropriate colors you want to take off from that image. So I think I'm going to return this back so that I can go to the next part. So this is normal and this is normal. Alright, now color grading. Color grading, as is very common, is just understanding which colors work for the midtones, the shadows, and the highlights. So if I go to shadows, if I say that I change the shadow color to this, everything that is black as a shadow on the image is going to go to what that color, it's going to go to the color I'm picking. So if I take it back to the central part, it's okay. But if I go to my highlight to the same thing, the lighter part of my picture is going to move towards the color I highlight it to be. Yes, same thing. Then midtones controls both shadows and highlights at the same time. As you can see, this is what is given. So this is what you need to understand when you're picking your color or when you're color grading. Now, under color grading, you can blend. You can decide how deep you want the shadow to look like, or how lighter or how effective you want the light to look like. So it's totally up to you. Same thing with the balance and the blending. Now optics, on the other hand, I do not use it. I don't know what it means. I do not use it. Geometry is to actually properly position the image well. Yeah, if it's bent and it's not straight, you can do that with it, but I've never used it before. Coming to effects now, if you see some kind of nostalgic retro kind of design and you want to add noise effects, all those type of things, it's effects here, you do them and you add the grain. The grain gives it this Kodak film photography effect on it, which I actually like. That's why you see that this image itself, I edited it this way as I'm giving you an example, because I love this type of images. Like I love this type of color grading. It gives me this nostalgic and this um, exclusive vibes that I'm actually doing something better than every other person. So yeah, so this is grain. Grain helps you add noise to the effect, add noise effects on the image, but in a different way than the normal regular noise effect. So yeah, then there's vignetting. If you reduce it, it's going to be black. If you increase it, it's going to be white. So you decide. If I go to black, I can just reduce it a little bit. It's not compulsory you go that deep in the black. Yeah. And finally, calibration. I do not use this. I don't know it. But if you want to try it, you're open to try it. Like you can open to test it out. I've not just tested it out, and I didn't see a reason to test it out. So yeah, it's up to you. Now, if you notice, this is just one segment of it. This is the edit section. If you go through every single one of them, there's pot removal, there's adjustment brush, there's graduated filter, there's radial filter, there's red eye removal, there's presets. You can choose to use any one of them and create yours. So, and yeah, that's how it is. I basically focus on the edit part because that's where I do most of the things I want to do, and I use them effectively. So if I click OK now, you see that this was how the image was before, and this is how it is right now because of camera raw filter. And you can tremendously improve your design or your images with camera raw. This is so basic. Wow, this, like, looking at it now, it looks so basic. Looking at this is different. I love this. Yeah, so that's how you can use camera raw filter. If you want to learn more about camera raw filter, drop in a comment. I'm going to make a video about it. Please subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the very next one.